Hi, I'm Rocket with Wreckless Blenders. Welcome to Musings from Rocket Cellar. In today's session, I'm going to give you a quick update on what's going on at the winery, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Miss Rocket and my wine adventures we've been on recently. Let's get started. Miss Rocket and I went down to Ivanhoe in the Central Valley. Now, Miss Rocket grew up in the Visalia area and spent a lot of time down there. We went down to see her Aunt Anne in Ivanhoe, and Aunt Anne is married to Bob McKellar. And Bob McKellar has this farm where he grows oranges and mandarins, and it's big and it's successful, and he's very much a pillar of the community. And what he's done recently is he's created Farmer Bob's World, and it's a place you can go and you can see what it's like to go from tree to table. So what does it take to grow oranges and mandarins, and how do you get it to packaging? How do you get it to the grocery store? And then and a lot of people today it's my experience of farming is going to the grocery store. And that's not like the whole story, clearly, right? What does it take to grow things? And so I'll take a quick aside here, and yeah, we're in the wine business, so we understand some parts of that when it takes to, how do you tend a vine and how do you make sure it's taken care of and watered and pruned and all the things. And we have, vines in front of JT's house, and then we have some vines out at Loomis Vista. And that's a great experience to understand what it takes to go all the way from the vine to the bottle. And so we have a bit more of an appreciation for that. But I go to the store all the time, and it's like, oh, how come they're out of so-and-so, or what's it? And I realize that I am taking a lot of the supply chain, the food chain, for granted when I do that. And I have to stop and pause and reflect on how amazing it is that there's all this variety of food and produce, and how blessed we are, especially in the California area, with all the variety that's out there. And so Farmer Bob, in Farmer Bob's World, if you're ever in that area, in the Ivanhoe, Visalia, Bakersfield, Fresno, now that's a big area, so please don't think I'm, but just to give you an idea, if you're near Bakersfield or Fresno, it's kind of in between there. There's this little community called Ivanhoe. You can look it up, Bob's World. You can book a tour. It's well worth it. It's a nonprofit, and they have people coming in from all over the world to check it out and experience what it's like. Now, on the way home from Farmer Bob's World in Ivanhoe, Miss Rocket and I were like, well, wouldn't it be cool if we could do a little wine tasting? And we stopped at this great place that was very much nostalgic for Miss Rocket's childhood, where there's all these, it's amazing shopping and food, and it's a little roadside attraction. And so we're sitting there and we're like, well, maybe we can hit Lodi. We can make the Lodi. And I've talked about Lodi here. Maybe we could do, I don't know, one of the wineries that's on our list that we haven't had. So we're like, yeah, let's go. Jump in the car and realize that there's no way we're going to make it to the winery in time. It'll be right at closing time. And that's not too cool for a big commercial winery where you show up at 3:55 and say, hey, we want an hour-long tasting. Now there are wineries out there that are very much accommodating and enjoy that. And I didn't feel like driving for 2.5, 3 hours and showing up with the question, are we going to get in or not? We decided, let's try around where we were. And so we were driving along, and Miss Rocket's looking up wineries with 5 stars. We find one in Fresno, just right off the freeway, off of Highway 99. And she's like, we should try it out. And, I'm like, really? A Fresno And she's like, come on, you're open to new experiences. Yes, yes, yes. All right, I am open to new experiences. So let's go. So we jaunt over there and we have a beautiful time. And it was wonderful. The wines were good. We got to have a long talk with the winemaker. We hung out for a while and we talked about different types of grapes that he's putting in. He wants to put in a Fiano. I'm like, what? You know a Fiano? And he's like, yeah, that's a thing. And he's just it was a great experience. And what it really emphasized for me and for Miss Rocket was wherever you are, if that is the thing you want to do, you can look it up and see if there's something around you, right? And that's how many people find us in Carmichael, right? They're like, wineries around me. And just randomly, they're like, haha. And then Wreckless Blenders pops up. So, well, let's go check this out. And, you drive by and it's a house and you're kind of like, yeah, I'm not sure about this. And some on first Saturday of most months, we're out there and we're hosting and you can drop by and pick up stuff. Anyway, I just wanted to say one thing about the Fresno and the Central Valley and a lot of the grapes. There are very many vineyard managers and winemakers in that area that are trying to make high quality stuff. And what's happening is a lot of the big commercial wineries look to that area for, we'll call it bulk wine. We'll call it bulk juice. Actually, it's probably a better way to put it, because they want to infuse their Merlot with some cab that's got some body, but it's not like, the super high-end cab. It's at a price point where they're like, yeah, that's what we want. So all the big wineries that are doing this are encouraging the Central Valley folks to keep it at the price point. Don't thin out the vines, don't prune, don't pull back, don't work the can. We just want bulk. And I realized that we're lucky that we work with amazing vineyard managers and growers that really want to do the best for us. And we're gonna pay extra for that. And I'm looking at you, Andy and Elizabeth, and you, Bob Gibson. You are terrific, and we are so happy to be working with you. And we've got a few new ones that we're working with, and we're looking forward to making an extended relationship with all our growers. But I was impressed by how this man who has a lot of acreage and has taken pieces of it out and said, I'm working this piece. This is my piece, and I'm going to try and make a quality wine out. That was a wonderful experience. Just a quick update on things in the inventory. Look, we're at a Fiano, at least a 2020 Fiano. The next Fiano is going to happen in 2022, probably in the fall, springtime. Here's the thing. So I don't want to try and tell you when we're going to bottle it, because what we don't want to do is allow commercial pressure to make decisions for us. So we want to make sure that the Fiano is ready. And whether that is making sure it's clarified, making sure that it's clear, making sure it tastes right, making sure it's, all the things, we're definitely not going to bottle it before it's time. And so we're out for right now. We'll have some next year, probably in the first half of the year. Can't tell you when. It's going to be worth getting some. Now, one of the things that we've done, I'm a little sad about this, but it's okay. We did not put it in red wine barrels again. So it's going to be a true white wine. You're going to see it as clear. It's going to have, it's a beautiful wine. I mean, it's just gorgeous. So we've got new vessels that won't impart that beautiful rosé color to it. And that's okay, because here's the thing. What we don't want to do, that's kind of messing with, you're playing with matches there, because it could impart flavors from the barrel into the wine. We don't want that. And so last year we got very lucky in that the barrel did not bring in a lot of flavor. It brought it in color. So, but this year we're like, let's just not play that, and let's do the right thing. Now, we did make a rosé, and I think I've told you about this, the Tariga rosé. Well, maybe I haven't. Ha Aha, here's an opportunity. So we were doing Tariga, and we looked at all the numbers and all the information that came across, and we decided, because we were not getting any Sangiovese, right? I've told you that. We needed a rosé. So we decided right there on the spot, as we're crushing Tariga, that we're going to make a rosé. And so it's been in the fermentation vat for a couple of hours. That was it. And we said, okay, let's pump it into a couple of containers, get it out of there so it stops, the color stops, get it, make sure the fermentation's going. And boy, howdy, is it dark. But it's not like a dark rose. It's not a dark wine. But the rosé color is this gorgeous ruby, garnet color. I am so interested in this. It's going to be a lovely, lovely rosé. And so keep an eye out for that. Especially, if you're at any of the events, sometimes we will pop open some of the barrel fermentation, something that's in the barrels. We may do a little barrel tasting, and so keep an eye out for that if you're at any of the Wreckless Wine Days in Carmichael. It's worth checking out. Well, with that, I'm Rocket. This has been another Musings from Rocket Cellar. You want to say Bob and Michelle? Stick your head in here. Say hi, Bob and Michelle.
Hi, Bob. Oh, here we go. Hi, Bob and Michelle.
All right.
Hi. We had so much fun with you guys in San Diego.
Yeah.
Now it's your turn to come up.
All right.